Hey everyone, and welcome to our deep dive all about dating apps.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about all the big ones. Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, OccupidMatch.com, Elite Singles, Plenty of Fish, even some of the more niche ones like Farmers Only,
Mm-hmm.
if you're out there and you're just feeling overwhelmed by all the options.
Right.
This is the deep dive for you.
It really is. I mean, it's kind of a jungle out there.
Yeah?
Online dating has really exploded, and
Yeah.
it's interesting. It used to be kind of taboo, and now it's
Right.
almost like the norm. So that's created like a ton of these different apps,
So many.
all these different options, and it's hard to know
Where do you even begin?
where to even start.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's start with the one that, I feel like even our grandmas have heard of at this point. Tinder.
Tinder.
That's the OG
Yeah.
of the swipe, right?
Yeah.
Like very fast-paced visual.
Visual, very much about like that first impression.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it does have a reputation for being more casual. It does. But you know what's interesting? There was a study recently that showed actually a lot of people on Tinder are looking for serious relationships.
Really?
Like a surprisingly high number.
Huh. So it's not just hookups.
It's not just hookups. People are finding love on Tinder.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because of Tinder, not just for fleeting connections.
Mm.
Now let's talk about Bumble. Bumble is interesting because they kind of flipped the script on the whole traditional dating app dynamic,
Yeah.
where it's like women make the first move.
Right. It's women driven.
Yeah.
And that's actually not just a gimmick.
Oh, interesting.
It reflects, I think, this bigger change that's happening
Oh.
where women are taking more initiative.
Yeah.
So Bumble's like, yeah, we're going to give women the control of
Definitely.
those first interactions, and hopefully
Yeah.
that creates a better environment, a more respectful environment.
For sure. I can see how that would lead to like
Absolutely.
more meaningful connections.
More meaningful. Yeah.
Okay, well, speaking of meaningful connections, Hinge is all about designed to be deleted,
Designed to be deleted.
which is a pretty bold statement,
That is bold.
but it seems like they're really serious about
They are.
helping people find relationships.
They're focused on those in-depth profiles,
Yeah.
really encouraging you to engage with those prompts.
Yeah.
And not just, look at pictures, so going a little bit deeper
Totally.
than just the superficial stuff.
And their algorithm, right, like learns as you use it.
It does. It's constantly refining
Oh,
based on your activity.
that's cool.
Yeah, so it's learning about you as you go.
I like that. All right, so Hinge, it's like they're saying, we're so confident, you'll find someone amazing, you won't even need our app anymore.
Right, exactly.
All right, Cupid. Cupid has been around forever.
It has. It's been around for a while.
I feel like they're known for those like very in-depth questionnaires.
Yes, they are all about the data.
The data.
Yeah, they really want to get to know you.
Oh, wow.
Your values, your interests, even your quirks.
Huh.
To find those truly compatible matches.
So it's more than just like, are you attracted to this person?
Right. It's not just about looks. It's
Yeah.
really about are you compatible?
Compatibility.
At a deeper level.
Like having a little matchmaker in your pocket.
Exactly. A virtual matchmaker.
Okay, now for our listener who's looking for something
Mm-hmm.
a little more mature, maybe a little more relationship focused, there's always Match.com,
Match.com.
the OG dating website.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a reputation, I feel like, for attracting people who are a little more serious.
More serious. Yeah. People are there because they're really looking for a partner. They're putting more effort into those profiles.
Right, like you're not just like,
It's not a quick thing.
yeah, you're really taking the time
You're taking the time.
to like think about what you're looking for
Yeah.
and to make sure,
To present yourself in
Yeah.
a genuine way.
totally. And for our listeners who are like killing it in their careers,
Hmm.
they're really ambitious. They want to connect with other professionals. There's Elite Singles.
Elite Singles, yeah.
I feel like that's a good one for that.
It's specifically for professionals
Yeah.
who are ambitious. They get it.
Yeah,
They understand the demands of a busy career.
for sure.
And so they want to help you find someone who shares those same aspirations,
Totally.
the same level.
Makes sense. All right. And then we've got Plenty of Fish, or POF, as the cool kids call it,
EOF.
which boasts a massive global reach and a free-to-use model.
Right. Very accessible.
Yeah.
You can cast a wide net.
Yeah.
And, there are all different kinds of people on there looking for all different kinds of relationships.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
It's like everything from casual to serious.
From casual to serious, the whole spectrum.
Okay, cool. So something for everyone. Now let's talk about some of the more niche dating apps. The ones that really cater to specific,
communities.
yeah, communities' interest.
Lifestyles.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think these niche apps have become really popular because they recognize that,
Yeah.
shared values and lifestyles are important to people.
For sure.
So they create these spaces where
Yeah.
you can connect with people who really understand your
Yeah.
unique perspectives,
Yeah,
your
no-
priorities.
Totally. So we've got Christian Mingle for our faith-based daters out there.
Yeah.
J-Swipe connecting Jewish singles.
Mm-hmm.
And then even farmers only.
Farmers only.
For those who are looking for love in rural communities.
Yes.
I love that.
Absolutely.
And of course, we can't forget her dedicated app for LGBTQ plus women and non-binary folks.
Right. Creating that inclusive space.
Yeah.
A safe space for connection.
So many options.
So many options.
Like, how do we even
you choose.
navigate this jungle?
Right. It's a lot.
Yeah, and find success.
Well, I think the key is to be authentic.
Okay.
To be patient and to be strategic.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to put yourself out there.
Mm-hmm.
Be yourself. Have fun with it.
I love that. I feel like it's really important to remember that. Online dating is not just about swiping right. It's about being intentional,
Intentional.
about being genuine.
Yeah, you want to find someone who you really connect with
Totally.
on a deeper level.
Yeah. All right, so we've talked about, kind of a broad overview of
Yeah.
the different apps that are out there. Why don't we take a little deeper dive into some more specifics about how to create a profile, how to start conversations, and how to actually, turn those matches into real-life dates.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Okay, we'll be right back. Okay, so we've got the lay of the land when it comes to dating apps.
Mm-hmm.
But now I want to talk about, the actual using of them.
Yeah.
Creating a profile,
Mm.
starting conversations, and, actually turning those matches
Mm.
into dates in real life.
Right. Getting from the app
Yeah.
into the real world.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
Let's start with the profile,
Okay, the profile.
because that's your first impression.
It is. It's like your digital storefront.
Right.
You got to put your best foot forward.
It can feel like a lot of pressure
It can be.
to get it just right.
Yeah.
What are your tips for creating a profile that really makes people want to swipe right?
I think authenticity is key.
Okay.
You don't want to just have a generic profile,
Oh,
a
yeah.
list of hobbies,
Totally.
It doesn't tell us anything unique about you.
Yeah, instead of just saying, I love to travel,
Yeah.
tell us about a memorable trip you took.
Right, exactly. Or a funny story from your travels.
Yeah.
Something that gives us a glimpse into who you really are.
And pictures are important, too.
Huge.
Yeah.
They got to be recent.
Okay.
High quality,
Yeah.
representative of you. It's
Yeah.
show your interests,
Yeah.
show off your smile.
Yeah.
Don't use too many filters,
Right, be real.
Be real.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so we've got our profile all polished. We're ready to go. How do we start those conversations?
Yeah.
Because I feel like we've all gotten the dreaded hey message.
Oh, yeah.
Is there any hope for a more engaging opener?
There is. You just got to put a little effort in.
Okay.
Instead of a generic greeting. Actually look at their profile
Right.
and reference something specific.
Okay.
Like a shared interest or a funny comment they made, or even
Yeah.
ask a question about one of their pictures.
So it's you're actually
Mm-hmm.
showing that you've taken the time to look at their profile.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you're curious.
Yeah.
Okay. And then once you've gotten the conversation started,
Yeah.
how do you keep it flowing?
I think open-ended questions are key.
Okay.
You want to get beyond the small talk.
Right.
So instead of asking, what do you do?
Yeah.
Maybe ask what's the most rewarding part of your job?
Oh, I like that.
Or instead of what's your favorite movie? It's what movie could you watch over and over again?
Those are good.
Just to get them talking
Yeah.
and share a little bit about yourself too. Be vulnerable, be authentic.
Totally.
That helps build that connection.
But even with the best profile, the best conversation starters, rejection is still a part of it.
Part of the game, yeah.
Yeah. Any advice for handling those unmatches?
Don't take it personally.
Okay.
It's not a reflection on you.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just timing.
Right.
Sometimes it's a mismatch of personalities.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean you're not attractive or
Not worthy of love.
right. It's it's not you, it's me. And by me, I mean the algorithm.
Exactly.
Okay, so you're chatting with someone, you're feeling a connection. When do you know it's time to take things offline?
You kind of just get a feeling.
Okay.
But generally, if you've been chatting for a few days,
Yeah.
conversation is flowing,
Mm-hmm.
you're both showing interest,
Yeah.
it might be time to just go for it.
Okay.
Suggest something low-key,
Okay.
like coffee or a walk in the park, something casual,
Yeah.
to just get to know each other better.
And safety first.
Always safety first.
Yeah.
Meet in a public place.
Mm-hmm.
Tell a friend where you're going.
And if anything feels off at all,
Yeah,
just trust your gut and leave.
trust your gut.
Yeah.
Before we move on to listener questions, I have to ask, do you have any like funny or memorable dating app anecdotes? I always love to hear about those.
Oh, I've got so many stories.
Yeah.
One that comes to mind is this woman who accidentally sent a message to a match that was meant for her mom.
Oh, no.
It was something like, don't forget to pick up your prescription.
Oh, my God.
So yeah,
That's amazing.
it happens. We're all human.
We are all human.
Yeah, even in the digital world.
Right. We make mistakes.
We make mistakes.
All right. Well, I think it's time to tap into the collective wisdom of our listeners. Let's open it up to some questions.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's get to some listener questions.
All right.
This first one's from Sarah, and she asks, how do I write a dating profile that actually stands out?
Oh, that's a good question.
I feel like we've all been there.
Yeah, it's tough.
You want to stand out, but you also want to be authentic.
Right, exactly.
You want to strike that balance.
Yeah, I think a good starting point is to think about what makes you unique.
Okay.
Like, what are your passions?
Yeah.
What are some things that people might not know about you just from glancing at your profile?
So, like, instead of just saying, I love to cook,
Yeah.
maybe tell a story about, like, a dish you make that everyone loves.
Right, exactly. Or a funny story about a time you totally messed up a recipe.
Yeah.
You know, something that shows your personality.
Yeah. Humor's always good.
Humor's great.
Yeah.
A great way to connect with people.
Totally.
Just make sure it's authentic to you.
Right.
Don't force it.
Okay, we've got another question here. This one's from John. He says, how do I keep a conversation going on a dating app? I always feel like I run out of things to say after a few messages.
I feel like that's a common struggle.
Yeah.
It's easy to fall into the trap of small talk.
Right.
Like, how's your day? What do you do?
Yeah.
But to really keep a conversation going, you got to ask engaging questions.
Okay, so like what kind of questions are we talking?
Well, instead of asking, what do you do for work?
Yeah.
Maybe ask, what's the most rewarding part of your job?
Oh, like that.
Or instead of like, what's your favorite movie? Try, what movie could you watch over and over again?
Yeah, get some talking.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to share a little bit about yourself too.
Right.
You know, vulnerability and authenticity,
Yeah.
those can go a long way.
Totally. Okay, last question we have time for. This one comes from Emily. She asks, how do I know when it's time to meet up in person?
That's a good one.
It's a tough one.
It is. It's different for everyone,
Yeah.
but I think it comes down to feeling comfortable and excited
Oh,
about
yeah.
taking that next step.
So like, if you've been chatting for a while, you have good rapport, you feel like you're actually connecting,
Right. Then it might be time to
Hmm.
suggest meeting up.
and keep it casual.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Don't put too much pressure on it.
Right. It's just like a chance to see if
Yeah.
that connection translates to
It's-
real life.
Have fun with it.
Yeah.
Get to know each other better.
Awesome. Well, I think that's all the time we have for today. But to all of our listeners out there who are navigating the world of dating apps, remember to be yourself, have fun, and don't be afraid to put yourself out there.
That's great advice.
Thanks for joining us. On this deep dive into the world of dating apps, we hope you learn some valuable insights and feel empowered to swipe right on love.
Absolutely. Good luck out there, everyone.